Good day, students. Now, for this discussion, I'm going to tackle or we're going to discuss personal narratives. So, this is a lesson 3 for fourth quarter. So, I hope you will listen and answer and understand what I'm going to discuss. So, let's start. So, Walt Disney, sabi niya, the more you like yourself, the less you are like anyone else, which makes you unique. So, di ba? Maganda kasi yung mga ano niya quotes. So, introduction. In this article or in this lesson, we'll discuss what a personal narrative essay is, how to write one, and look at some examples of great personal narratives. So, first, we are going to define personal narratives. Ano ba yung personal narratives? So, based on my information or based on my sources, personal narratives are written inside and outside of academia. Pag sinabi natin outside or inside academia class, pwede siyang isulat either student ka ba or not, or related ba siya sa subject mo. So, yun. Inside or outside. They can range from personal responses to books or events written by the students to best-selling memoirs. So, itong personal narrative, pwede siyang someday maging libro or ma-publish ng isang individual. Personal narrative focus on personal growth. Ayan. Pag-improve or pag-grow ng isang tao. Reflections niya. Dito pwede rin pumasok dito yung reflection essays and lessons. Ano yung mga natutunan niya sa buhay. They are popular due to their easy digest format and because humans are empathizing creatures. So in academia, a narrative essay tells a story which is experiential, anecdotal, or personal. So record, kumbaga, nire-record niya. Yung personal, experiences. It allows the author to creatively express their thoughts, yung feelings nila, pwede nila isa-isa doon lahat ng mga ideas, emotions, feelings, and opinions. Pwede nila ilagay din doon. Its length can be anywhere from a few paragraphs to or 200 of pages. So, ang length daw or gaano ba kahaba, depende yun sa author. Pwedeng mga 5 paragraph lang or hundreds of pages. So, nasa author pa rin yun. Outside of academia, personal narratives are known as a form of journalism or non-fiction works called narrative journalism. So, yung newspaper, magazines, even highly prestigious publications like the New York Times. Itong New York Times, kahit na sobrang tagal na niyan or sobrang luma na niyan, until now, meron pa rin silang section doon na personal narrative para to entertain din yung mga readers. Hindi nila tinatanggal yun. So, there are 6 guidelines for writing personal narratives. So, writing a personal narrative essay involves both objectivity and subjectivity. You'll need to be objective enough to recognize the importance of an event or a situation to explore and write about. On the other hand, you must be subjective enough to inject private thoughts and feelings to make your point. Yun. With personal narratives, you are both the muse and the creator. So, ikaw yung bida. Ikaw din yung gagawa. So, you have control over how your story is told. So, ikaw ang may kontrolado. Ikaw yung pilot or ikaw yung driver dyan sa sinulat mo. However, like any other type of writing, it comes with guidelines. Siyempre, katulad din ito ng mga iba't ibang type of writings class. Kasi dito, sa personal narratives, may mga guidelines din tayo na dapat sinusunod. Una, write your personal narrative as a story. So, yung personal narrative mo, dapat kinukwento mo siya pa-storytelling. Kinukwento mo yung mga pangyayari. So, as a story, It must include an introduction, characters, plot, setting, climax, anticlimax, if any, and conclusion. Another way to approach it is by structuring with an introduction, body, and conclusion. Usually, yan, tatlo talaga yan. Hindi na maghihiwalay yan. Diba, nakailang salubong na tayo? Siguro from reflection essay pa lang, nandyan na sa introduction, body, and conclusion. The introduction should set the tone, while the body should focus on the key points you want to get across. The conclusion can tell the reader what lessons you have learned from the story you've just told. So yun po yun. Hindi na masyadong madaling intindihan lang po. So second, give your personal narrative a clear purpose. Ano ba yung purpose mo dyan sa pagsulat mo ng personal narrative? Ano ba yung gusto mo or ano ba yung point out mo? So, yun po. So, your narrative essay should reflect your unique perspective in life. This is a lot harder than it sounds. You need to establish your perspective, the key things you want your reader to take away, and your tone of voice. So, syempre, pagkukwento mo, dapat angkop dun sa readers mo. It is a good idea to have a set of purpose in mind for the narrative before you start writing. Syempre, bago ka magsulat, isipin mo muna, para saan ba to? Ba't ko ba sinusulat to? Ano ba purpose ko? Bakit ko sinulat to? So, dapat meron ka na ganun. Let's say you want to write about how you manage depression without taking any medicine. So, yan. 3. Show. Don't tell. Ipakita mo. Huwag lang basta-basta nagsalita ka. It's a narration. So, the narrative should show readers what happened instead of telling them. As well as being a storyteller, the author should take part as one of the characters. Keep this in mind when writing, as the way you shape your perspective can have a big impact on how your reader sees your overarching plot. Don't slip into just explaining everything that happened because it happened to you. Show your reader with action. So for example, you can check for instances of telling rather than showing with the pro writing aid. For example, instead of, "You never let me do anything. I cried disdainfully." Huwag mong sabihin, "I cried." Kasi kinuwento mo na. Dapat ang gawin mo, "You never let me do anything. To this day, my mother swears that the glare I leveled at her as I spat those words out could have soured milk." So, yun. Excuse. Iwasan po natin na gumamit ng mga kwento or personal na words, yung "I cried." Yan. So, use I, but don't overuse it. So, yun ang sabi dyan. Pwede tayong gumamit ng I or gamitin natin yung I. Pero, hindi natin dapat gamitin to lagi-lagi. Kasi redundant na po yun. So, we have to use it or minimize using I. Pay attention to tenses. Ito tenses. Ito yung mahirap. Yung mga perfect tense, past tense, future tense. Be careful on that class. So, dapat alam na alam nyo yun. Yung mga present tense, past, future. May future perfect tense, past future perfect tense. Ganun. Yun yung mahirap sa perfect tenses. So, pag nagsulat kayo, ano yun na lang? Simple. Simple sentence ang tenses ang gamitin para hindi masyadong malalim. 6. Make your conclusion satisfying. So, ito yung pinaka-importante. Conclusion. Kasi, para yung readers mo masatisfy. At pwede nilang i-share din sa iba na, "Uy, basahin mo tong personal narrative ni ganito." Satisfying yung conclusion. Satisfying yung story. Yan. Examples of personal narrative essay. Long reads. Curating the best of personal narratives and narrative essays from all over the web. Some are award-winning articles. Ito yung long reads. Pag sinabi long reads, ito yung sikat. Talagang nag-boom, nag-trend, or nag-trending sa sobrang ganda. Narratively, long-form writing to celebrate humanity through storytelling. It publishes personal narrative essays written to provoke, inspire, and reflect, touching lesser known and overlooked subjects. Ito lang yung medyo yung nag-i-inspired lang, nagre-reflect, or nag-i-engage or ang tawag dito, to make entertainment, na-entertain yung readers mo. Narrative magazine. Itong magazine, yung makinis na magazine. Usually, yan yung, yung Metro or Metro Magazine. Ano pa ba? Ano pa ba mga sikat na magazine? Wala kasi akong alam na mga magazine na ano eh. Sa amin, sa INC, meron kaming magazine, Pasugo ang tawag. So, yun. Example po yun ng narrative magazine. Thought Catalog. Aim at Generation Z. It published personal narrative essays on self-improvement, family, friendship, romance, and others. Thought Catalog, ito naman yung kinukwento niya yung mga nangyari sa sariling nabago sarili niya, sa family niya, sa friendship, sa romance, and others. Tell your story. Personal narratives, parang sa madaling salita, class, personal narrative, kinukwento mo ang personal mo, yung sarili mo. Kinukwento mo yung sarili mo. Personal narrative makes us better humans and enjoy telling your stories. So, end of lesson. Same like what I've said. Kung may question kayo, magtanong kay class. Huwag kayo mahiyang magtanong. So, ayusin lang po ang pagtatanong. Siyempre, maraming nagtatanong or maraming nag-chat, nag-PPM about this one. Syempre, hindi ko naman agad-agad masasagot yung mga question nyo kasi lalo na pag nagsabay-sabay. So, patience, mag-wait tayo kasi sasagutin ko naman po yan lahat. So, that's all for today. Thank you for listening and God bless.